Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahav Karkadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and to the bishops and elders in Connecticut, and to the brothers that's out there putting their lives online, teaching this truth. And this Yah Demai from the Great Millstone Houston camp. And I'm going to go into this video that Dabu 7 did a couple of days ago concerning this oil, right? And we know it to be a chariot, so-called UFO. It's somewhat like a faith booster. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it and kind of highlight it and get some scriptures, okay? Check it out. And it's fair use, just for educational purposes only. Of course, I'm not getting paid for it, so let's get into it.
This is Dabu 7 asking the question, what are we looking at here with this mystery orb? This is wild. This is some of the craziest footage I've ever seen up close, and especially the images now in high definition. If you're unaware, a man named Christopher Bledsoe caught this orb on camera at his home in North Carolina. He shared this about a day ago via Instagram. A ton of people have a ton of questions, and he put out an enhanced version that makes it look a little different, but I'm showing you the raw shot. This is the raw image shot right here. Now, I'm also going to show you an HD, which is not AI enhanced. It's just HD, a frozen frame, caught somewhere right here. And you can make out clearly that there seems to be something in the center that you're going to have to decide for yourself what you think it is. But there's clearly something that is like writing that is seen. And with the screenshots, you can see this looks like writing. Many saying Hebrew writing is what it reminds them of. Everyone's got a different opinion out here, but this is pretty wild. When looking at it, slow down in an HD on the right, it's wild looking. You can clearly see there's some form of writing inside of this bubble. Now, if this is some big hoax by Bledsoe, I would like to think that it would get torn apart here rather quickly, because people can go in and they can capture what's been edited and you can see what's been photoshopped and all this. But if none of that is there and people are taking the raw footage and they're examining it themselves and they're saying, look, this is what I'm finding, and they're all producing the same stuff. They're saying they're finding letters or something inside of the bubble. Again, this on the right is the best shot that I've seen yet. It's HD. You can clearly see. Look at that. That looks absolutely wild. What is this? They look like letters. It looks like writing. Some say this looks like a face of a person or a creature or an entity or something within this orb. Yeah, well, they are light years ahead of us, it seems, in terms of technology that they're releasing to the public, let alone what any kind of advanced civilization or beings or fallen would have. But man, dude, hold on. Dude, that looks like the head of a gray. This is wild. Well, the Fallen are here, and you've known it. They've been watching us the entire time. Now we have some upgraded technology to maybe catch them in action. Well, it's either that or it's a hoax. It's one of the two. So, everyone's going to have their opinion again, but from what I see, it's pretty wild regardless. Let me know what you guys think. I'll update on the next live stream with updated information on this one way or another. And I'll leave links below. This has been Dabu 7. Eyes to the skies.
I'm going to be going on to what?
Yeah, so, that's kind of, that's kind of wild, like you say, but I believe it to be true, and you can see, it's the you look at it, you can see beings in it. You know, got a guy. Cause I watched the elder brother, Damas, uh, Damas Shapat video, D-Mass, and what's that in Indy? Uh, I forgot the slack it, GMS, Indiana, yeah, and he was going into it, and if you look at it closely, you can see it's like a being. It seemed like looking, well, sitting down, like at some type of table or something. He was going into that. You look, you see different beings on here. Like right here, it look like somebody with a beard right here, right? You see like it's some beings right here on the side, somebody right there in the back. You know, he he stilled the video, and zoomed, and stopped it. And I mean, I'm just saying, you know, well, you can clearly see too. This is a guy or an angel or somebody right here with a beard, a black beard, inside of this orb, which is a chariot. I found it to be amazing to me. You know, we ain't really dismayed about these things. We know, the chariots be all in the skies all the time, but for him to just catch this, like this detail, you know, again, you can see somebody right here sitting down, like at a table or something, you know. But yeah, man, that's to me that's beautiful. It's it's like a faith booster. I'm gonna go ahead and get some scriptures though. Let's go to Ezekiel 1:20. Kind of like explaining. You have angels or beings inside these chariots. And I'm gonna read it in NLT. Ezekiel 1:20 in the NLT. The spirit of the living beings was in the wheels, right? The wheels meaning the chariots, so-called UFO. So whenever the spirit went, the wheels and the living beings also went. When the beings moved, the wheels moved. When the beings stopped, the wheels stopped. When the beings flew upward, the wheels rose up, for the spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. So yeah, just wanted to bring that out because you can see you have beings in these wheels are like, inside of this chariot. That's why I wanted to bring that out. See, with some type of ancient writing above them, could be Hebrew, right? So yeah, man, that's to me is it's a faith booster, man. Okay, dismiss this. Yeah, so just letting you know, I'm gonna read it again. Ezekiel 1:20 in the NLT. The spirit of the living beings was in the wheels, right? We know it was the UFOs, chariots, so-called UFOs, the chariots, Heavenly Father vehicles, right? The vehicles of Israel, the chariots of Israel. So whenever the spirit went, the wheels and the living beings also went. When the beings moved, the wheels moved. When the beings stopped, the wheels stopped. When the beings flew upward, the wheels rose up, for the spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring it out, about the, the angels being in these vehicles, man. Okay. So yeah, what's the point I wanted to bring out? Escape me right now. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get yeah. When you read Ezekiel the first chapter, it explains, goes into these, into the chariots and the angels, right? Even describing the angels, and yeah, let's get this here. Ezekiel 1 and 7 in the KJV. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, probably like a boot or something they had, right? They had on, you know, and they sparkle like the color of burnt brass, showing you that, these angels, they do have color, they different colors of brown, showing you that they are, dark-skinned beings. But yeah, man, when you read Ezekiel 1, chapter 1, it goes into the angels and the UFOs. So let's get on Zechariah. It's that 5. Let's start at 1. Zechariah 5 and 1. And it reads, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So what, Zechariah going into, he's seeing this so-called UFO, a flying roll, right? The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits, probably like a so-called cigar shape, and the cubits going into like the length, the sizes they are. Verse 3, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, right? These chariots going to be a curse to some of these people out here in this earth, man, right? For everyone that stealeth it shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it, right? And when it goes into for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, who you could think of when you hear that so-called Esau Edom. Well, not so-called Esau Edom, so-called white man Esau Edom, right? Verse 4, I will bring it forth, said Yahweh Bashmau of hosts. Host goes into armies. And it should enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, right? The only person I can think of are these Edomites, man, starting with your top elites, okay? And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof, right? I read 5. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes and see what is this that goeth forth. Right? Reminded me of Luke the 21 chapter. I'm gonna go into that too. Right? Yeah, because this place, man, Babylon the Great, so-called, America is gonna be destroyed. And these chariots gonna enter into the house of the thief, which is Babylon the Great, America, bringing havoc, especially to Esau Edom. 2/3 of our people gonna get caught up in this too, but it's written for them too, the ones that's gonna come back, they're gonna come back. They pretty much gonna be they the elect, the first fruits, starting with the remnant, the elect, the 144,000, the government body, right? And Lord willing, man, I hope I'm a part of that number. So yeah, just going into that with the chariots, right? The flying roll. And now let's go into since I said it, let's go ahead and get into it. Luke 21, and I start at 25. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, confusion and not knowing what to do, right? The sea and the waves warring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, right? For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, things that's coming upon the earth, man, it's going to be major hell upon this earth, and really going into these missiles, this place being destroyed, right? Verse 27, Luke 21 and 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man, who is that? Yahushua, coming in a cloud, a chariot, so-called UFO, with power and great glory. See that? And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Right? Our redemption draweth nigh, to the hopeful elect. And like I say, I hope I'm a part of that number. So, keep looking up. We in these times, you can tell we're in the end with all these things happening. Right? So, yeah, that's why this, I took the video down, but this is why this is happening. Right? See the angels, that orb, and the guy zoomed into it, you can see these beings in it. Right? So, yeah, man. What else I was going to get? Yeah, let me get Jude. Let's get Jude 1 and 14. Jude 1 and 14. And it reads, and Enoch also the seventh from Adam, right? Prophesied of these things, prophesied of these, saying, behold, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, right? Yahushua coming with 10,000 of his saints, right? To execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all they ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all they hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Yeah, all you scoffers and scorners, you know what I'm saying? All you ungodly people out here, coming against the Heavenly Father and his prophets, yeah, you doomed. The judgment's gonna be upon you real soon, man. But yeah, the point was, Enoch prophesied of this thousands of years ago about Yahushua coming back, with the angels on that ship, on that chariot. Okay? So yeah, man. Now let me check this out in the NLT. Jude 1 and 14 NLT. Enoch, who lived in the seventh generation after Adam, prophesied about these people. He said, listen, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai is coming with countless thousands of his holy ones, right? The holy ones, the angels. Who the saints are, those Israelites. You read Psalms 148 and 14, and you go to Psalms 50 and 5, you can read that, them two accounts mainly. But yeah, man, I hope this been edifying to the point, man. Just wanted to bring that out about this video that Dabu 7 had put out, a couple of days ago. About this, hey, we close. We even that close, man. To get this detail, you can see some beings up in here, especially this one. You know, it's clearly you can see like he got a beard, right, with a brown, dark complexion, skin, brown skin. You know, brown complexion, skin on his body, with a beard. So yeah, hope this has been edifying to the point. You know, until next time, I'm gonna give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruhawa Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom and Shalom.